What do stellar objects such as stars or black holes and 2016 soundtrack have in common? They're both dense by their specific properties. Stellar objects, such as stars and black holes, have huge masses, which makes them really heavy, while the Doom 2016 soundtrack is a genre of heavy metal, although it contains electronic music and obscure sounds from tape machines and analog patches. While the observable universe is filled with planets, moons, Eastern European women, gas giants, comets, and other objects, it is mostly filled with stars and black holes that are part of the visible ordinary matter. In order to compare the density of Mick Gordon's Doom 2016 OST, we need to define 4 density categories. Quick note: density is defined by how much mass there is in unit volume, with the unit kilograms per cubic meter. So the baseline is how many things, notes, harmony, dynamics, and texture are compact in one specific Doom 2016 OST. The first density category are stars. Stars are massive spheres of plasma that emit light sustained by the fusion of lighter chemical elements such as hydrogen and helium in less massive stars, and carbon, oxygen, and magnesium in massive stars. Stars are generally really hot, but not as hot as my supporters and subscribers.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
They are also in balance between the force of gravity, which is the inward force, and the force of fusion, which is the outward force. They are classified by their hotness. The classification goes like this: OBAFGKM. People have developed a mnemonic for the star classification. The most popular mnemonic goes as follows: "Oh, be a fine girl or guy, kiss me," or "old, bald, and fat generals keep mistresses," or my personal "oh, big, armored, phenomenal gentlewoman, kindle me." But when it comes to Doom, there are mnemonics such as "overwhelming blood and fury generate killing music," "obey brutality and fear, glory killing monsters," and "only bloodthirsty anger feeds godlike killing machines." The O stars are blue, the hottest and most massive, the brightest, and having the lowest life expectancy, while the M stars are red, the least hottest, the smallest in size, and not so bright, and having the highest life expectancy. The overall density of all stars ranges from 500 kilograms per cubic meter O-type stars and 5000 kilograms per cubic meter M-type stars. If a star has a mass between 0.8 till 10 solar masses, the outcome of the end of that particular star is a white dwarf. This is the second density category. White dwarfs are special stars which have the same size as our planet Earth, but they have half of the sun's mass. The density of white dwarfs is between 10 to the 7 and 10 to the 10th kilograms per cubic meter. They are made out of carbon and oxygen. Now remember that balance of forces in stars. When a star runs out of fuel, the outward force of fusion is less than gravity, so gravity wins, crushing the core more and more. In order for the core not to get infinitely crushed, it's held by a state of matter called electron degenerate matter. Yeah, if you thought that solid, liquid, and gas are the states of matter, now you know that there are at least 3 states of matter. One of them being degenerate matter. If you think that degenerate matter is the name of the internet content-based subscription service that contains the 15th and the 6th letters of the alphabet, TikTok, Insta Reels, you are partially correct. However, we are talking about big brain topics. There are other states of matter as Bose-Einstein condensate, plasma, quark-gluon plasma, and others. However, I know that this electron degenerate matter occurs when the matter itself doesn't want to collapse further from the overwhelming gravity given by the star pushing towards the center. I'm not gonna explain what the electron degenerate matter is. My brain is too small to understand that structure since 2018 till 2020. Additionally, the mass range for white dwarfs is between 0.5 and 1.44 solar masses. This maximum limit of 1.44 solar masses is called the Shenka-Sendar limit. Fun fact, Shendar-Sekar came to this limit while traveling. And again, I'm not going to explain what happens to the white dwarf after this limit. I know that a neutron star can be formed, which we will talk about shortly, or the white dwarf can explode in a so-called carbon detonation. Maybe the two events happen simultaneously. To be honest, I'm not sure. So my dear viewer, you can research about this topic. Do it now. Contrary to white dwarfs, neutron stars are the result of the stars that have masses between 10 till 25 solar masses. They are the third density category. Neutron stars are even denser than white dwarfs. Estimates state that the density is 3.7 times 10 to the 17th to 5.9 times 10 to the 17th kilograms per cubic meter. The diameter of a typical neutron star ranges between 20 and 24 kilometers. Now, these dense balls are made purely out of neutrons. Wow, who would have thought that out? Anyways, the matter is called neutron degenerate matter. This is an additional state of matter, as they already mentioned before, and this matter occurs when you have level 99 brain rot as me. When the electron degenerate matter can sustain the overwhelming force of gravity that wants to collapse the matter or core further. The force of gravity pushes the electrons further and nearer to the core of the atoms. Lastly, the electrons and protons fuse together to form neutrons and neutrinos. The end result is that you have an object that is made purely from neutrons and it's really compact. There are hypotheses that the core of the neutron star might be made out of quark gluon plasma or even strange matter, and the deeper you go inside the star, the structure changes to a more pasta-like state. The mass range of typical neutron stars ranges from 1.44 till 3 solar masses, which is the maximum mass limit. We will discuss about this limit in the next density category. What object could be denser than neutron stars? Is it 1. Creationists, 2. False or strongly religious people, 3. With people who believe in certain conspiracies, 4. Flat earthers. No, it's black holes, and they are our densest category. Black holes are the ultimate end of every single star, provided that the initial star has a mass above 25 solar masses. The diameter is bigger than 10 kilometers for stellar one. There are other classifications for black holes, however, I'm summarizing them. Even neutron stars can turn into black holes if they cross the limit of 3 solar masses. This limit is called the Tolman-Oppenheimer-Volkov limit. Black holes form when a collapsing core becomes so compact that an event horizon forms, which is a boundary where the escape velocity equals the speed of light. In this boundary, light can't escape, and if light can't escape that tight black hole grip, nothing can. According to general relativity, the continued collapse leads to a singularity, a point where density becomes infinite and our current laws of physics break down faster than Shinji's mental state. It's basically where the universe divides by 0. Now that we have established our 4 categories, we can start with the Doom 2016 original soundtrack. The soundtracks that I took into account are listed now. The very first soundtrack is Hellwalker. Even the name itself gives off vibes of being dense. Moreover, Mick Gordon specifically made a soundtrack if you pause the game to have a dope gym music. Also, it contains arranged themes from Sign of Evil and Doom from Doom 2. The main riff is played using synthesized chainsaw sounds. You heard it right, every Doom player is headbanging to chainsaw music. Hellwalker is for sure a neutron star density. The Slayer suits up after waking up from a long nap, and a trash can starts speaking to him.
Welcome. I'm Dr. Samuel Hayden. I'm the head of this facility. I think we can work together and resolve this problem in a way that benefits us both.
The music gives a dense feeling, but not on a level for a white dwarf. Sure, it's dense, there is no sugarcoating it. However, it has a similar density to a red dwarf star since they are pretty dense, so this goes to sun density.
I'm willing to take full responsibility for the horrible events of the last 24 hours, but you must understand. Our interest in their world was purely for the betterment of mankind. Everything has clearly gotten out of hand now, yes. But it was worth the risk, I assure you.
You can feel the testosterone throwing through your teeth. That anger that the Doomslayer feels pumps you so much in order to eradicate the demons. Mick Gordon took a 9-string guitar and turned the 1993 version into a literal black hole dance track. The track can become denser, and it is the first black hole level density. In the first mission, UAC facility, the music is more groovy. It forces the player to adapt on the movement since the movement is key to victory. If you stand in the same place for too long, you will be slaughtered, and I mean it. The gameplay is fast, destructive, and a little dense. It's not enough dense to be a white dwarf, so it gets a hot sun density. Now the second level, the Doomslayer decides to take a walk outside on some fresh Martian air. Oh, what is this red orb? The soundtrack represents the purest rage of the Slayer. The moment you take the Berserker power up at the second level, it shows the true strength of the Slayer. This one is dense, like it goes beyond neutron star density. It perfectly fits a black hole density. The Foundry is the first level in which we firstly encounter the Hell Knight. The Foundry is dangerous. One wrong step and you become the Terminator 2 robot. Rust, dust and guts holds a dear place in my heart since it is really dense. The chainsaw moments elevate the track to enormous densities. Also, it contains arranged themes from the Imps song from the 1993 version. It can be debated if it should be dense as a neutron star or a black hole. Although I'm a bit biased, I put it in the black hole density, though the neutron star density also fits this one. Harbinger means when a person or thing that announces or signals the approach of another. So basically the demons signal the approach of the Slayer in the distance. The track contains themes derived from the Doom 3 theme and E3M1 Untitled. This soundtrack easily represents the boiling point of rage of the Slayer, and when it explodes, black hole density. There is no explanation here. Black hole level of density. Okay, I will yap for the next several seconds. The track contains a short segment of Waltz of the Demons and a brief sample of the classic BFG at the very end. Additionally, the soundtrack is played two times, firstly at the Argent Tower level and later at the ARC level. If you know BFG Division, you know the new Doom games. The Slayer returns from the expedition in Hell and finds the UAC in a huge mess.
Who made that mess? You did, Kate.
The background music fits excellently to the theme. There are also parts from the Imps song, indicated by the clicking. This one is much denser than the sun. It easily fits into White Dwarf density. Transistor First goes all over the place. Some parts are really dense, some are less dense. Moreover, it contains a short arrangement of Kitchen Ace and taking names. The overall average density fits for a white dwarf. If the density was more concentrated to the core, we could get a denser star as a neutron star or even a black hole. However, it's more of a denser white dwarf, almost at the Shenka-Cedar limit for a white dwarf.
Authorization: Olivia Pierce, Alpha 402.
She has locked me out, Dr. Hayden.
All power reloaded to Argent Energy Tower.
She is trying to tear open the portal between our world and theirs.
You could not have saved them anyway.
Olivia's Doom, honestly, is the first soundtrack that made me feel desperate and hopeless. I mean, Olivia wants to rip open a portal to hell and cause a huge mess. And we can only watch her, although the Slayer can burst open the glass and break her neck in less than a second. Same as the last one, highly dense white dwarf before reaching the upper limit. I can firmly state that this one is the main function of this track, while the Doom Hunter theme from Doom Eternal is the integral. I can see what Mick Gordon did here. Though the soundtrack is dense, it's perfect stepping stone for a black hole density for a future theme for a specific boss in the second game. This one goes in neutron star density. The Cyberdemon is the very first boss of the game. Here the player is tested for his movement, spatial awareness and quick reflexes. The intro is dense, however, and unfortunately the rest of the track isn't that dense. Sure, some parts are dense, but it doesn't go as dense as a black hole. Also, it has Easter egg in the spectrogram, including the number of the beast, satanic pentagrams, and the Doom guy's face right at the end. The theme fits adequately in Neutron Star category. One can say that the demons have an everlasting damnation to be eradicated by the Slayer. You get the joke? Because the demons are damned and the song is called Damnation. Additionally, the Damnation music at the Titan Recam level is denser than the Kadindir Sanctrum because of the cores. The chorus of the people elevate the density to black hole level of category. There is also a part that resembles the theme from the Cyberdemon. The track goes hard. If you, the viewer, try to headbang during the densest parts of the track, your head might be decapitated by the movement. Let's hear it again, shall we?
For you to gain access to my core, the demonic threat must be removed from over my head.
VEGA Core is the core of the Vega star in the constellation Lyria. It has a mass of 2.15 solar masses and is an A-type star. However, I'm getting sidetracked here. The track has renditions of E3M1 Untitled at minute 1 and 10 seconds and Into Sandy City at minute 7 and 8 seconds. Unfortunately, the guitars are non-existent as the events at the Tiananmen Square on the June 5th, 1989. That's why this one belongs to Neutron Star Density.
The age of his reckoning was uncounted. The scribes carved his name deep in the tablets of hell across eons, and each battle etched terror in the hearts of the demons. They knew he would come, as he always had, as he always will, to feast on the blood of the wicked, for he alone could draw strength from his fallen foes, and ever his power grew, swift and unrelenting.
Dakhma 3 has nothing much to present other than the holy chorus. I know a demon is describing the Slayer, however the chorus carry this one hard. Neutron Star level density. The Twin Princes from Dark Souls 3. Twin Trouble Hellguards boss fight has the name UAC report file SHT036U3. From the very start, this track doesn't waste time and dives into deep densities. The Twin Hellguards test your patience. They block your attacks most of the time, though they can be stunned if you interrupt their attack. In the second phase you are ganked by 2 of them. Now the real challenge starts. Unfortunately, this track has no guitars as Bethesda initially wanted with Doom 2016. If it had guitars, this would fit in the Black Hole category. However, it stays in Neutron Star Density.
Are you sure about that?
Black Hole Density. Skullhacker as Hellwalker bear a similar name. Both are dense, both have parts of chainsaw syncs, however Skullhacker has more guitars.
Demonic presence at unsafe levels. Lockdown in effect.
Nevertheless, this one belongs in Black Hole Density. Fun fact, there is an Easter egg in the spectrogram of John Romero's head. Six at Kill Vega, CIH, is the soundtrack that is played during the shutdown of our beloved artificial intelligence VEGA. The feelings that we get are anxious, dreadful, intensity and uncomfortable. The soundtrack has a loop that goes ever so higher in notes, however, it's an illusion called a Shepard tone. It's basically when the pitch appears to rise or fall infinitely through layered octave-separated periodic waves in music theory. I also think that the Shepard tone is implemented at Olivia's Doom soundtrack, though I might be mistaken. This just really shows how deep of an understanding Mick Gordon has about music theory. He truly earned to be the central composer for the Doom soundtrack. Though the density is high, it's not as high as a Neutron Star, therefore it lays in White Dwarf Density.
The process is complete.
Thank you, Vega.
Rip and Tear, the first soundtrack that Mick Gordon composed, was rejected and later implemented at the end. Who knew a short, elegant yet funny phrase that is a cryptic reference to a meme from the little-known Doom comic book from 1996 could become a unique statement for all Doom games? It fits everything about the track: rage, determination, fury and shredding. Same as BFG Division, Black Hole Density. If BFG Division is a normal function, the derivative will be Mastermind. Likewise, if we have a function that represents a black hole, the Neutron Star function will be the derivative. Even though this track has no guitars, some would have elevated the track to black hole levels of density. Therefore, this one fits in neutron star density. So there you have it, the tier list of the densest original soundtracks from Doom 2016. Do you agree or disagree with the ranking? Present your thought processing in the comment section below. I am aware that I haven't analyzed the music in greater detail, as when of specific soundtracks are played in specific levels, since I'm leaving that for future topics. Right now I'm looking at the size of the video plus my file size, so a small positive feedback would help a lot. For future knowledge, I can cite these videos, plus as a reference I use the doomwiki.org. As always, I believe I rolled your brain on higher levels on the knowledge mountain that could be beneficial for your life. Have an amazing and great day. Take care.